Okay, so here we go with the 1978 New York Yankees taking on the 1979 Pittsburgh Pirates in a Strat-O-Matic series, best of seven. I would say going into this series to give you a little preview of the two teams. I played with both of them in the past, and the Pirates are always one of my 79 Pirates are always one of my favorite teams to play for. This is a very balanced team with very good lineup, righty lefties in the lineup, a lot of power. Obviously, they have Dave Parker in right field, who's a game breaker, batting third. Willie Stargell had a big year. The Pirates also have a lot of interchangeable parts, which makes them very user friendly to play with. For example, you got Bill Robinson, who starts against left handed pitching, and he could play either left field or first base. They insert Lee Lacy into left field against lefties, while John Milner plays left field against righties. So the hitting side of the 79 Pirates, very versatile, righty lefty, good power, very good speed, and pretty good defense also, which is very important, as we all know in Stratomatic. Pirates pitching is pretty good. Top three pitchers, all of them have good cards, not great cards. That would be Bert Blyleven, Bruce Keeson, and John Candelaria. And the Pirates also have a very good closer in Ken Tekulve and some very capable left-handed arms out of the bullpen with Jim Rooker, Dave Roberts, and well, Grant Jackson is the third lefty out of the bullpen. His card is not that great, but um, there's a lot of opportunities to make moves within game for the 1979 Pirates. So the best thing I would say as far as a compliment goes for the 79 Pirates would be if you're playing against them, they would be a very hard team to beat. Now, with the 1978 Yankees, again, this is being played with the Stratomatic 1970s Special Series set. I actually felt like the 1977 Yankees in Stratomatic were much better than the 1978 Yankees. I would say the 1978 Yankees, out of all the sets that I have, and mind you, I do not have every set from every season, but I would say that the 1978 Yankees are probably one of the three worst World Series champion teams out of all the Stratomatic cards that I have. The only World Series champion team that I would say is worse than the 78 Yankees are the 1988 Dodgers. And I also put the 1987 Twins in that list as well, as far as the three worst Stratomatic World Series champion teams that I've come across. Now, obviously, the 1978 Yankees have Ron Guidry, who had an incredible card. He went 25-3 that year. Everyone knows the numbers from that year. However, the Yankees' problem in 1978 was the hitting. There was not a lot of good on base percentages on the Yankees that year. For example, Mickey Rivers bats leadoff. He didn't get on base a lot. Willie Randolph has a very good card. Thurman Munson was hurt for most of that year, so he had a down year that year. And even Reggie Jackson did not have that big of a year. I would say the best hitting card on the 78 Yankees, the two best hitting cards would probably Randolph because of his ability to get on base and steal bases, and Greg Nettles. Other than that, everyone's cards are, you know, spotty at best. Um, the rest of the Yankees starting rotation after Guidry is just okay. That's how I would grade the cards of guys like Catfish Hunter. Um, Actually, I shouldn't say that. Catfish Hunter's card is just okay. I would give Ed Figueroa a good card. So, 78 Yankees have a great starter with Ron Guidry and a good number two starter with Ed Figueroa. And then after that, the starting pitching cards with Catfish Hunter, Jim Beattie. The cards are decent, but you're kind of holding your breath if you're playing for them and they are on the mound. And Gossage, the closer, very good card. Sparky Lyle, the setup guy, has just an okay card, and that pretty much does it for the rest of the bullpen. Dick Tidrow, who I used a couple of times in this series, pitched pretty well in his outings. But again, it's not a card when you put it down and you're playing for it where you say, okay, this is going to be a lockdown inning because I got Dig Tidrow on the mound. So I would definitely say going into the series, the 79 Pirates have a big leg up on the 1978 Yankees. But let's take a look at what happened in the series. Now, in game number one, played in Pittsburgh, so we have the pitchers hitting for games one and two. The Yankees were able to get to Burt Blyleven for 3 runs in the top half of the first inning. Reggie Jackson hit a 2-run homer, and then that was immediately followed by a Greg Nettles solo home run. So the Yankees led 3-0 after the top of the first. And Guidry was moving along pretty well until we got into the bottom half of the sixth inning, where Dave Parker was able to make the score 3-2 with an RBI double. And then Lee Lacy was able to put the Pirates ahead 4-3 with a 2-run home run. So the Pirates lead 4-3 going into the seventh inning. And then the Pirates were also able to get tack on runs in the seventh and the eighth. So they were able to get to Guidry with 7 runs, 10 hits in 7 innings. It just seemed like for a couple of innings there, uh, the Pirates were really hammering away. Guidry's card in the 4 column against right-handers has a home run 1-3 double the rest of the way in his 4 column, and it seemed like I pounded that like 3 times over the course of 2 innings. I just kept that number just kept coming up, and that was one of the reasons why the Pirates were able to get to Guidry the way that they did. Now, with the Pirates up 4-3 going to the top of the seventh, I figured, this was a game that would be a good game for the Pirates to steal, being that it was a Guidry game. So Kent Tekulve came in the seventh inning and he pitches 3 scoreless innings. Um, Actually 3 perfect innings, not allowing any base runners. So the Pittsburgh Pirates are able to win game number one. And the big day was had out of Lee Lacy, who went 3 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Now, in game number two, we have Ed Figueroa going for the 1978 Yankees and John Candelaria going for the 1979 Pirates. And the 79 Pirates were able to walk off this win, a 3-2 win, 12 innings. It was Rene Sinet who was able to single home Lee Lacy, who led off the bottom of the 12th with a double. You could see in the top half of the 12th inning, um, I made a move here which could maybe see to be a little bit suspicious. Um, in the top of the 12th with the score 2-2, Pinella and Nettles led off the inning making out. And then Jim Spencer had a double, and Mickey Rivers was intentionally walked with the pitcher, Dick Tidrow, up next. Now, at this point, I was pretty much out of pinch hitters coming off of the Yankee bench. I had already used Roy White. Already used Chris Chambliss. Jim Spencer was in the game. Cliff Johnson had started the game playing first base against the lefty. I used Gary Thomason to pinch hit for, let's see, Thomason pinch hit for Gossage. So really, my only pinch hitter left on the bench was Brian Doyle. And in this case, actually, with 2 on and 2 out in the top of the 12th, Dick Tidrow's batter rating on his card is a 3. And I just kind of figured 2 things. Number one, his batter ratings card pretty comparable to Brian Doyle's card. And also, I just felt like Tidrow was my last capable pitcher for the 78 Yankees. And I just felt it was more important that I get through the bottom of the 12th and then maybe get to the top half of the 13th. And the 78 Yankees would have the top of their lineup up and maybe they could scratch a run. So I decided to let Dick Tidrow hit. He strikes out. And then, sure enough, in the bottom half of the 12th inning, the Pittsburgh Pirates are able to. Walk it off. You could see very big outing out of the Pirates bullpen as they were able to throw a combined 6 1/3 shutout innings. Um, with Jim Bibby coming out of the bullpen to get the win with two scoreless innings, and Ken Tekulve preceded him with two scoreless innings. So after two games, the Pittsburgh Pirates have a 2 games to none lead on the 1978 Yankees. Now, in game number three, the 1978 Yankees down 2 games to none to the 1979 Pirates. They have Catfish Hunter on the mound going up against Bruce Keeson for the 1979 Pirates. Game played in New York, so the DHs are back. So, what I decided to do for the Pittsburgh Pirates was Willie Stargell at first base. I actually had Bill Robinson play left field this game, and I put John Milner at DH simply because I just like Robinson's defense in left field better than Milner. Robinson is a 2 in left, and Milner is a 4. Plus, Robinson has a decent card against righties. I didn't think it'd be very realistic to play Mike Easler starting this game, who did have a card that year but only had 50 some odd at bats. So decided to go with B Rob in left and Milner at DH. And you could see how good that 79 Pirates lineup was, where you had Bill Madlock hitting seventh. So here we go with game number three with the 79 Pirates up 2-0 on the 78 Yankees. And the Pirates, after 5.5 innings, had a 4-0 lead on the Yankees, and the Yankees were able to claw their way back into the game. In the bottom half of the sixth, you had Greg Nettles and Reggie Jackson hit back-to-back home runs, and then they were able to scratch across a run in the bottom half of the seventh after a Chambliss single and a Roy White single moved Chambliss to third. Jim Spencer grounded into a force out to um, get the run in to make it 4-3. And then in the bottom half of the eighth and the bottom half of the ninth, the Yankees were able to get a runner into scoring position in both innings, but were not able to get the run across. So you can see Ken Tekulve going 3 scoreless innings for the save. So after 3 games, the 1979 Pirates are up 3-0 on the 1978 Yankees. 3 wins, and 2 of the games were decided by 1 run. And you're going to see a pattern develop here where the 1978 Yankees were able to get some people on base and into scoring position, but they just could not get the big hit. Now, in game number four, we've got Ron Guidry going for the 78 Yankees on 3 days rest. And I decided to run Burt Blyleven out there on 3 days rest for the 1979 Pirates. And my thinking there was if the Yankees were to get this game, what I probably would have done for the 79 Pirates to avoid John Candelaria throwing on 3 days rest was in game number five, I could have thrown Jim Bibby out there or something like that to start the game. But I figured with the Pirates up 3-0, let's just try to go ahead and get this game and get the sweep and get the series over with. So decided to go with Blyleven for the Pirates in this game, and Pittsburgh was able to jump on Ron Guidry again with 4 runs in the first 3 innings. The big hits being Bill Robinson, RBI double, and then Willie Stargell hit a 2-run homer in the top half of the third to make the score 4-1. And then from there, this was a game where the 78 Yankees were just trying to chase and catch up with the 79 Pirates. The Yankees had plenty of scoring opportunities as you had Burt Blyleven in 7 innings allow 11 base runners, and Kent Tekulve in his 2 innings allow 3 base runners. The 1978 Yankees in this game stole, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, 6 bases in the game. I had the Yankees really take advantage of both Burt Blyleven and Ken Tekulve's inability to hold runners on, just to try to manufacture some runs. But as you could see, once again, they just weren't able to get big hits to either make the game closer or tie the game. You could see in the bottom half of the ninth inning, after 2 were out, Greg Nettles singled, Reggie Jackson walked, and with 2 out, 2 on in a 5-3 game, Lou Piniella flew out. So the 1979 Pirates sweep the 1978 Yankees in really what was kind of a weird series as I was playing it because I did not get the dominance out of the 1979 Pirates that I had expected going into this series. You had um, games two and three decided by one run, and then game four was a one run game going into the top half of the ninth inning. I kind of knew this was going on as it was happening, but after the series was done, I went back and tracked some stats. And the 1978 Yankees in these four games were 2 for 33 with runners in scoring position. How about that for a stat? 2 for 33 with runners in scoring position. And the 1979 Pirates, the big standout performance for them was from Kenta Colby. Once again, going back to the importance of a strong closer in Strat-O-Matic. He pitched in all four games, not allowing a run in 10 innings with three saves. So there we have it. The 1979 Pirates sweep the 1978 New York Yankees 4 games to none.